we're gonna get right into it. Okay. I like to start all my strand pulling or chest expander full body workouts with arms. So I'm going to step on one side on the ground here in order to do a single arm bicep curl. Okay. 2, 3. I want to aim for 3 sets of 15 on all my workouts. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay. Not going to rest too long. There's no reason to rest long when you're doing a chest expander workout because there's no real eccentric because it's pulling you back down. So you don't generally build up a lot of fatigue training with the chest expander. So I'm going to do each side 3 sets of 15. Amazing bicep pump. Okay, so workout 1 was single arm bicep curl. So what I'm going to do now is hit the other side, or other side of my arm, I should say. So I'm going to step on the other handle, and now I'm doing a reverse curl. Again, no reason to rest too long. This is a different type of strength training. You don't build a lot of that dense muscular fatigue from heavy weights doing negatives. It's really good pump and volume work. Get extra work in there. So for biceps, I generally do those 2 exercises. I'll do just a regular curl and then a reverse curl. Hits most of the arm anyway. So we're gonna move on to triceps. Another pro tip about doing arms first, it makes every other chest expander exercise way more difficult. So if you're starting out on a chest expander like this and doing the typical extension move here, if you pre-exhaust your arms first, it makes that move that much harder. So if you're really strong at this particular movement, you do arms first, kind of helps you get fatigued enough to do this with a little bit less strings. So it's just a way to make lighter weights feel heavier. But we're going to go right into, it's one of my favorites for triceps here. It's just like an overhead extension. Again, everything is 3 sets, 15. So we're going to smoke the entire yoke, shoulder girdle, with this move right here. And the opposite arm here, the one that's not moving, is still getting a hell of a lot of work done because it's contracting too. Isometrically, it's got to hold that weight there. And it's a good way to stretch out the biceps after you did your bicep work. Feels amazing. Okay, so I'm going to do the other side real quick, and I'm going to move on to the other tricep work. For this tricep extension, I got to show you guys the back here. But we're going to have one arm overhead. You're going to grab this one back here. Okay? So you can press here, then you're going to be extending down here. This one requires a bit more mobility. Kind of feels like someone's twisting your arm. And you may notice I only have 2 strings on there. But I'm telling you, 3 sets of 15 will tire you out, even though you may not have much fatigue, but you're still going to feel a general sense of lactic acid buildup while you're training. So Just because I said there's no fatigue doesn't mean there's not work being done, because that'd be a lie. So next movement is one of my favorites for triceps. I don't know why, but I call this one the tricep press. But elbows high, parallel to the ground. I'm just going to extend out with both. I think I like this one because it's like one of the only moves you can do 2 arm at a time for triceps. But I just love it. Any kind of tricep extension, we're using both arms. In all of these movements, since you got to pretty much have your elbows up, it works a shoulder girdle. So if you really do 3 exercises of biceps, 3 of triceps before you get into the shoulder work or back work with the chest expander, I'm telling you, you really only need like 2 or 3 springs on it. Oh man, I love that one. Alrighty, moving on from the arm work onto the upper back and shoulder work. Okay, this is the creme de la crop of the chest expander work. So I added a string, and we're going to do our just traditional frontal open to the side here. Okay, arms as straight as possible. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A bit from the side, a bit from the back, and 15. Okay. So if your intent is high to really expand, contract, and come back, I'm telling you, 3 sets of 15 on all these moves, you'll be smoked. Okay. When do I like to do this type of workout? In between my weights. So if I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the weights, I'll do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday with some expander work. That's typically how I program it. Again, you're not building much fatigue from it. You're getting a lot of blood flow, a lot of pump, a lot of recovery. It just feels amazing. And it still builds that sinewy tissue in the back. So next move is going to mimic a pull down. So I like putting my arms in reverse here and then coming up the top. Stand back a little bit. So I'm going to pull down like I would on a lat pull down machine. If you're pulling in the front, you got to kind of get your head out of the way. Kind of like an overhead press. But that way, it opens up all the tissue in the front of the chest. You contract the lats. And I promise you, it starts to get burning. Okay? So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do this from the back side. Take my hat off for this one. Okay? So did it from the front. I'm going to do it to the back. And it feels a little bit better, in my opinion, because you don't have to crank your neck back. But you're doing shoulder adduction work, which is one of the main functions of the lat, too. Again, I am also feeling a lot of forearm and tricep when I do all of this stuff. It's not for wusses. Okay? So both those movements really targeted upper back and lat. A lot of rear delts. You probably see the pump just from the 3 sets of 15. So now I want to move on to what you can do for shoulders, specifically more lateral raise and lateral head of the delt. So when I do lateral raises here, I may have to remove some springs real quick. I like to keep one arm locked to my side, the other one extended, and from here, doing lateral raise. Now I'm able to do a few reps with 3 springs with this, but 3 sets of 15, that wouldn't happen. But just for demonstration purposes, this is the lateral raise variation with the chest expander. I'm working. Okay. So I was like 6. So this side, keep it locked and extend. And this arm's doing a lot of work too, guys. So no matter what, if the opposite arm is holding it and resisting it, a lot of work is happening with that arm. And keeping that arm down, you'll feel the outside of your chest activate too, which leads me to my next portion. How can you actually train your chest with a chest expander? It only goes that way. I'm going to show you how to do one side of your chest at a time. That's coming up. Now, for all you at home people, I have this rigged up on my ring setup. So you may have to get creative if you got to put this up somewhere. If you have a rack, just an attachment to allow you to set something up, then you can do chest with the chest expander. Now, some people have 2 expanders, and you can set up both, and you can mimic kind of a dip motion or a decline press, decline fly motion. Since I have one at a time, I got to use one side at a time. But you're going to set up like you would a dip, right? And you're going to press down and squeeze the chest. Okay? And this one's very, very beginner friendly because you can just really focus on the squeeze and there's not much tension up here. Like my chest is already contracting and burning like no other. You can see it there. But it feels like a dip. It feels like the burning portion of a dip without too much of an exaggerated stretch on your shoulder. It feels amazing. So again, 3 sets of 15 each side. Your chest will have no option but to squeeze in, grow, and contract, and do all the fun stuff. But again, you gotta be really deliberate because there's no eccentric with these. You really gotta focus on contracting because the springs will just shoot you back up. So you want to resist the temptation to just let the spring snap up. Don't do that. Control it. Get some kind of a negative in there. Don't just let the springs slap back up. So do 3 sets of 15 on this. Again, rest. Don't rest too long. 30 seconds max. And with one arm or side stuff, just do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Boom, no rest. Burn it. I'm going to do a bit more stuff with the shoulder girdle here. Bench out of the way. Okay. So I'm going to go behind the body. I'm going to start here. I'm going to do a back press. I'm actually going to get my elbows on the inside here. See how my elbows are on the outside? That's not right. You want to get your elbows on the inside. So you just want to start and then rotate. Okay? So my arms are going to be parallel to the ground on this one as well. When you press this one, press so your elbows are up shoulder height. See where that's at? So elbows should be at your side at the start. And then press upward and out as you lift your shoulder girdle. Okay? External rotation is strong with the chest expander. I think it's why it helps a lot of people. It gets them out of their rounded desk state. So press, Really get the blood flow. More triceps. It's awesome for arms, man. It's not just back and shoulders like everyone thinks it is. Oh yeah, love that movement too. Anything to do with pressing, fantastic with the chest expander. So we hit biceps, we hit the triceps, we hit everything with the chest expander hits rear delt. Let's be real. We hit rear delts with all the opening movements, with all the pull downs. We hit the rhomboids, upper back, traps, some of the lats with the pull down, right? So now we're gonna hit the front of the shoulder, the front delt. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the biceps. I'm gonna step on one side, and you guessed it, man, you're gonna do a front raise. Okay, I like to lean down just a little bit, get a little bit of a squat with that. It just helps the springs out. I've tried it once where I really stretched the strings and it didn't do well with the actual spring. And I need to lower this one more spring because I was just doing that one rep was rough. So it's okay if you want to do, gotta bring this down to one string, guys. It's okay. It's a-okay. Okay. Stuff like that. Bit more to the side if you want more lateral raise. More to the front for the front delt. Okay. 3 sets of 15 on that side will be a challenge after you did everything. I'm telling you. I'm already freaking smoked. So, majority of different bodies pretty much done. You know, we hit our biceps, triceps, every head of the shoulder, every head of the delt. We hit most of our upper back. A lot of lats involved, just holding the weights or holding this expander where it needs to be. So now we're going to do some leg stuff with it. I know you might be thinking there's not much you can do with legs with the expander, but you just got to be creative. You got to know joint angles. You got to know leverages. You got to know a little bit of physics to do it, but it's possible. You'll probably get more benefit doing, you know, your body weight squats if you're at home. If you don't have as much equipment, you know, you can just do body weight for legs and see good benefit there. With chest expander, there's ways to hit more of the frontal thigh and the hip, and I'll show you that. All right, so you're gonna loop your foot in here, get as close to the wall as possible, and you're gonna raise it. So I got a weight underneath, and I'm gonna lock my foot in too. And if you do 3 sets of 15 on that, you're gonna freaking hate me. Okay, it does hit the front of the quad, but it really hits the rec fem right here, this muscle right here. Okay, that really cool sharp one that goes in between your quads. It'll hit that one. So do 3 sets of 15 each side. If you don't rest, I'm telling you, you will hate me, and your front thigh will be smoked. I'm telling you. If you have made it this far in the chest expander full body workout edition, you have earned a bonus bonanza. So I'm going to do a bit of forearm work here. So there is no muscle off the table other than, I mean, honestly, hamstrings. I'd venture to say you could probably do some kind of RDL with the chest expander. And I think I'm gonna try that for you guys. See how that feels. It's gonna be a lot of tension at the top, not much of a stretch in that position here. But I'm telling you, you put a couple strings on this. This feels really good because you can move this handle around. You're not stuck like a barbell. You can move this however your anatomy wants you to move it. That feels amazing. So you can do that. Turn this bad boy around at the top. So you can absolutely do a full body with a chest expander. And it is moita. So since you stuck around, I'm gonna try the RDL. See, I'm gonna give you an honest review on it. I haven't tried that. Just came to my mind. I have a feeling I'm gonna need a lot of springs for it. So again, 3 sets of 15 on that. Really hammer up the forearms there for you. So let me try this RDL real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step on it. Okay. And just kind of see if I can do a deadlift with it. A lot of tension at the top, not so much down here. But I tell you what, this would be good for doing. Let's say there's tension though. I feel it. Let's say you did a heavy set of your RDLs with your main barbell lift. A good superset would be to come in here and finish it out. Now I am feeling if I try to really flex my quads and keep my knees straight, it feels more of like a stiff leg deadlift. Do it in that fashion. You know, less bending the knees to make it harder. You can feel the stretch at the bottom. At the top, there's a contraction. So yes, I do feel that. So maybe try 5, 6, 7 springs on it. Do it after your main RDL or a stiff leg deadlift or regular deadlift move. And I can see this definitely being an add-in. So give that a shot. So it was popular demand that people wanted to see me do a full body exercise routine with the chest expander. And you could totally do it at home. Just get you a chest expander. I've heard rumors that the Robert Baraband expander, like the one I have, I've heard rumors that shipping it to the US is kind of hard right now. But Bells of Steel makes one. It looks pretty comparable. My phone got too hot outside, so I had to redo this part. But thank you guys for viewing. Thank you guys for asking me to do the full body workout. It's amazing. Do it in between your weights. Like and subscribe. If you like this general content, I can do more exercises with it. I have a whole book on strand pulling that can potentially help us out here. So appreciate you guys. Thank you. Tune in next time.